Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the different melee weapons and what's the difference between them. In the previous video we talked about the melee skills and what they require as a weapon and how you have to choose the skill that you're going to use and then use the weapon that's required by the skill. But for instance, cleave requires an axe or sword. And now comes the question, what should I choose? Should I choose sword or should I choose axe, or it actually maybe doesn't matter? Well, actually it does matter, and it does matter a lot. Maybe you can boost up your DPS with 30% if you choose the one or the other. So the difference between the melee weapons is mainly in two things. They have implicit property, which is additional stat that is attached to every single one of these weapons by type, and the requirements for the weapon. For instance, we'll skip the axes for now and going to Scepters just to show you what I'm talking about. So, what Scepters require is level, of course, the different base items 20, 24, 28, and they require strength and intelligence. Strength and intelligence. At the highest level, 93 strength, 112 intelligence. This is the requirements. And what they give you, especially these Scepters, is elemental damage. Increased elemental damage, which stacks up with your passives. There's a Scepter that gives plus 20, most of them give plus 10 and plus 15%. The other difference between the weapons, of course, is the base critical strike chance, which, as we talked in the video about the critical strike chance and damage multiplier, this thing here is calculated when when it stacks up with your passives and when it stacks up with your stats on your other items like rings, amulets, and whatnot. So that's about the Scepters. Then maces, hammers. One-handed hammers and maces is pretty much the same thing. What they give is base stun duration. So basically, what's happening is that, as we know from the last video where we talked about the melee skills, ground swarm requires a one-handed or two-handed hammer and or a staff. And what the ground swarm does is to reduce the enemy stun threshold, and the hammer gives increased stun duration for the enemies. So they really work up together pretty well. So for ground swarm, just a good idea is to use a hammer, not a staff, because it reduces the enemy stun threshold. In the same time, because of the chosen weapon, not the staff, it will increase the stun duration that you're going to do. For staffs, what it does is to give you a block chance. And this block chance, for me, is a good choice for leap swarm, because when you're in between the enemies, you're in their melee range and they can hit you. This block chance will help you to not take all the hits that your enemies will try to do on you. What it requires is strength and intelligence, the staffs. While the hammers, one-handed and two-handed, they require only strength. Only strength. The highest one is 191 strength, it requires only strength. Same thing about the two-handed hammers, 191. For two-handed and one-handed hammers. So this is good if you are a strength char. You can choose the hammer because you won't need any dexterity and any intelligence. Now continuing with the swords. The implicit property, the unique thing about the swords is that they give local accuracy rating. What the local means is that this accuracy rating, additional accuracy rating, 18%, won't stack when you're dual wielding, because if you're using two swords, that means 36% increased accuracy rating, but it won't stack like that for both swords. The 18% will be applied to the one sword that you're going to use, and if you're using a sword in the other hand, it will again be with 18 additional percent accuracy rating, but they won't stack up together. The requirements for swords are strength and dexterity, but the dexterity is higher, at least on lower level, than the strength. At the highest level, base level swords, it pretty much gets even. The daggers, the unique about them is that they give increased global critical strike chance. What the word global here means is that they increase the critical strike chance even for skills, for spells that you're going to use. What they require is dexterity and intelligence. At the highest levels, they require 76 dexterity, 149 intelligence. This is for daggers, critical strike chance up to 80%, and they require dexterity and intelligence. And the claws, their implicit property, the unique property that they have by default, is wife leech or wife gain on hit. On lower levels, it wife gain on hit up to 15, and on higher levels it turns into wife leech in percentage up to 6% at 70 level claw. What they require is dexterity and intelligence, just like the daggers, but here they are kinda even. So when you are choosing what weapon you want to use, you have to have in mind these implicit properties on your weapon that will help you out. They are a good boost to the weapon, to your skills. The axes don't have any implicit property. They don't have, like the swords, accuracy, like the maces, stun duration, like the claws, life leech, or critical strike chance. They don't have any. But the difference is that they do, by default, more damage. The axis has higher value of their minimum and maximum damage range compared with the attacks per second. For instance, 67, 69, 65 level X, their damage per second, which is this column here, is 72, 69, 69. Wow, if you click on maces and we click on swords, their DPS at the highest level will be 63, 63, 63, 61, 59. With the swords, 63 again. This is the highest base without any stats, while on axis they go over the 63 a lot earlier at 51 to 54 level. So axis give you more damage, but they don't have accuracy, they don't have higher critical strike chance, they don't have implicit property, but do more physical based damage. So for instance, if you're choosing what weapon you use for cleave, if you have a resolute technique, so you don't care about accuracy, you don't have any accuracy nodes, and with cleave you can use axis or swords, you should choose axes because they will give you more physical damage. If you don't have a resolute technique, you might go with swords because they will greatly boost your accuracy rating, and you won't miss your enemies. In the same time, you can take a critical strike chance notes. As I said, another examples earlier, for leaps one, maybe staffs because they give you block chance as well. For ground swam, hammers are kinda the best choice because they give you stun duration that will be applied to your enemies when you stun them with the reduced stun enemy stun threshold, which grants you the ability ground swam except the AoE range. Okay guys, well, this is it about this video. Use this information when you're choosing what skill are you going to use, and then what weapon are you going to use with this skill, and if the weapons that apply to this skill are not working, just maybe it's time to choose a different skill. Okay guys, well, this is it about this video. If you have a good idea about what video I should make, just write it down in the comment section below, or maybe just come by to the stream to say hello and chat with me. If you like this video, you should click the button like and check out the rest of the videos that is on my YouTube channel. If you like them all, just subscribe to YouTube channel so you don't miss when I upload a new video. Okay guys, see you in the next video.